All right, we are back with a raw, no editing challenge video. And today, what we're going to be talking about is the importance of a social media strategy for your business. Because if you are a business owner, you probably realize that social media is one of the best ways to actually grow your business. But what so many people realize is if you don't have a strategy going into it, you're basically just throwing things at the wall, hoping that it will stick. And most of the times, it does not stick. So in this video, we are going to fix that for you. So I'm going to go over a couple things here. I got my notes over here. So one of the things that we're going to go over is we're going to show you probably the worst thing you can do if you actually want to build a business on social media. And specifically, we're going to be giving you some specific advice for YouTube. And then I'm going to show you step by step what are the things you actually need and how can you start implementing this strategy today. So jumping right in here, the first thing, this is probably the worst thing you can do if you actually want to build a business on YouTube, but it's also a little bit counterintuitive because if you start on social media, the first thing you're probably asking yourself is how do I get more views? You see these people on TikTok and on YouTube, Instagram, all these different things that are posting these videos, getting millions of views, and their businesses are blowing up. So understandably, you're like, okay, sign me up. I would also like 1,000,000 views, please. But the problem with that is a lot of people, that is kind of their North Star is just getting more views. And because of that, they are constantly just chasing views over and over again. Also, I'll let you on in a little secret. If you've heard great things about YouTube AdSense, meaning the amount of money that you can make from YouTube, if you're getting hundreds of thousands of millions of views, you can make a decent amount of money, but I would say that's probably the worst way to build a business around. Instead, what we should be doing is not chasing views, but the North Star should be how can we solve problems for the people that want to work with us? So instead of just chasing the algorithm consistently, we want to think about who we're going to serve and what problem are we going to solve for them. So I'll just put that up there. Views are great, but it is definitely not the end all be all. So if you're not chasing the algorithm, what should we be doing instead? And this is a great tip that will kind of frame up the content strategy. And the great thing is if you're a business owner, you should already have an idea of this. So one of the things you need to do if you want to do social media well is you need to understand your brand in one sentence. And how I like to think about it is who do I help and what do I help them solve? Like for me, I help industry experts become the go-to authority in their niche on YouTube. So that's who I help, industry experts, and how I help them, / what problem do I solve? It's I help them become the go-to authority in their niche on YouTube. So for you, come up with that statement and then filter all of your content through that. And basically what your YouTube channel is, what your social media is you're taking people from the undesirable place that they're in, kind of the starting point, and then you're trying to solve their problem and get them to their desired outcome. So make sure that you have that on lock because that content should I not make? Then what do we actually do? So the next question is, okay, we're making content and we're getting views and maybe we're making helpful content for our audience, but we're not getting any leads. We're not getting any sales. Like, Jimmy, I need to make some money at this point because you can't eat views, unfortunately. And I guess you can't technically eat money either. So not a great analogy there, but you get the idea. So what we want to do is we want to very strategically not just build viewers, but we actually want to build an audience of buyers. And there's a couple key ways that you can do that. And one of the first and most important ways is inside your videos, you need to understand the specific goal that you have for the videos. Now, for some videos, honestly, it is just getting views. Like that's the goal, just to expand the reach, get people in the door. But think about what action do you want the people to take from this video? Do you want them to download a lead magnet? Do you want them to watch another video? Do you want them to start working with you, like actually booking a call? As you're making each video, think about what that end result action that you want them to take, and then very intentionally plan the video around that. And then, I hate that I have to say this, but tell them specifically what to do in the video. So if you have a lead magnet that they need to download, tell them, hey, you can download that, the first link in the description. Or a great one for YouTube, if you don't know what to say at the very end, is you can actually point them to another video. So at the very end, instead of just saying, hey, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, say, hey, there's another problem that you might be encountering, and if that is you, you can find the answer in this video. Because what that does on YouTube, it gets people in kind of these rabbit holes where they're watching a lot of your content, and that sends really good signals to YouTube that, hey, people are enjoying this content, and that's actually going to boost your views as well. But be very specific about what you actually want them to do. And then what do you do inside the actual content? Because I hear this a lot where, okay, I've got an idea for a video, but like, how do I structure it? What do I actually put in the video? And we can simplify this to three simple parts, super easy to remember. You have a hook, you have a value, and you have a call to action. Basically, what the hook is, and this is partially your title, your thumbnail, but then also your intro. This is answering the question, what's in it for them, and why should they listen to you? So what's in it for them? What desired outcome are they going to get from watching this video? What are they going to learn? What problem are you going to solve from this video? And then why should they listen to you? So adding a little bit of credibility in either your title, your thumbnail, or even your intro and saying, hey, I'm an industry expert. I've been doing this for 20 years. This is why you should listen to me. Obviously, say it a little bit more normal than that. Just, this is why you should listen to me. Sounds a little bit weird, but that's beside the point. But the hook is just kind of the elevator pitch for the video. Then the value, that's going to be kind of the body of the video where you are solving their problems. You're helping them, you're answering their questions. You're helping them kind of overcome the obstacles that they're running into and helping them get to that desired outcome. And then from there, again, the call to action. So at the end of your videos, you can either point them to another video. If there is an additional resource you want to add to them, then you can say, hey, get the lead magnet. Or if you want to go straight to, and this works really well for deep dive videos, if you've spent the last 15, 20 minutes going deep dive in exactly how to do the thing, a lot of people realize, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. And also, that's way too hard. Like I see this with real estate agents a lot where they can lay out the entire process on here's exactly what you need to either buy or sell your house. Step by step, here's the 98 steps that go into it. So you have all the information you need. Go ahead and do it yourself. But then people realize, hey, I don't want to do 98 steps and this is important and I don't want to mess it up. So instead, I want to work with you. So you give them the simple call to action. Hey, if you want the fast track, just me work with you one-on-one, you can click the first link in the description and book a call. So hook, value, call to action there. And then also, if we're wanting to not only get views, but then build an audience of buyers, there's a couple things that you can strategically do to do that. So I like to think about it in terms of top of the funnel content, middle of the funnel, and then bottom of the funnel content. And then we'll dive into this in later videos. But basically, top of the funnel content is just to get attention. So that's where you can kind of chase the trends and tap into other videos that are performing very well and kind of piggyback off those. Basically, you want to get people in the door and you want to let them know that you exist. But middle of the funnel, that's all about showing your credibility and then also solving their problems. So we're going to make videos around their questions, around their problems, and actually solving those, because the more that you do that, the more likely they're going to work with you down the line just because they've gotten so much value for free. And then bottom of the funnel, this is where the conversions actually come in. So maybe they've consumed your content for quite a while, but how do you actually get someone to work with you? Well, some of the best pieces of content you can do for this are testimonials, case studies, and other videos in kind of that realm. And basically, you can have like a one-on-one interview with one of your clients and say, hey, what was your experience like working with me? What kind of results did you get? Or just doing a case study where you can say, hey, I was working with this client, or you can even be your own case study, where it'd say, hey, I was in the exact same position you were in. I'm over here now. These are the step-by-step principles that I took to get there. And those are going to be more deep dive videos. And those will actually get less views, but those are also incredible for conversions. So we get them in the funnel, we solve the problems, and then we convert and show them why they need to work with us in kind of those deep dive videos. So that is kind of the three-part structure that you can, the strategy that you can follow if you want to not only get views, but then also start getting leads and sales for your business. Now, I will say this because I have to say this. Strategy is great and it can be great, but I see for most people, especially if they're starting out, strategy is not what they need. Because if you are in the same boat I was, where I actually waited probably 8 years of thinking about starting a YouTube channel before I actually did. So if that is you, today is the day to stop that, dang it, and actually make a YouTube video. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to get 5 views. Like, what's the point? Why should I make a YouTube video if no one's going to watch? Well, I've got the exact answer for you, because in this video, I actually explain a couple of different reasons why you should make YouTube content on your channel, even if no one watches. So if you want to watch that, click that there, and I will see you next time.